And we're back once again here in the finals area on table number 1 for some quarterfinal action in open singles. Between that man right there, that's Robert Atha out of Great Britain, and out of France, Franck Mahy. This should be a good one. Robert Atha currently rated at number 4 in the international ITSF rankings. And at number 20, Franck Mahy. Well, Robert Atha, who has become quite the multi-table player. Rising through the rankings of Tornado, certainly a great Gorlando player. Excellent on Bonzini. Here he is in the final 8. Very good on tech ball as well, and that one is stroked to the far side by Atha. He's up 1-0. And not a bad Roberto Sport player, so Atha certainly one of the top 3 or 4 multi-table players in the world at this juncture. Franck Mahy, primarily, in fact, I think, completely a Bonzini-style player. Here's Mahy now, front pin position. Try to come to that near side. There's Atha with a block. Rebound comes back to Robert. Saturday afternoon here in Aubonne, France, at the World Championships of Bonzini Table Soccer. Mahy to the near side, off the corner of the goal. And Atha able to reel in the rebound. And he's asking to clean the ball off. Referee Tom Yor says okay. And Robert Atha puts the ball back into play. He's up 1-0 here in game number 1. Atha fires that one wide of the goal. Rebounded nicely on that 3-row by Franck Mahy. Our first opportunity to watch this great French player, and he fires that one home to the near side. It's 1-1. Every single player remaining in the event, in fact, I think every single player in the final 32 or so was a pin shooter. Robert Atha, a pull shot shooter, although he will shoot the tic-tac as well. When he finds that straight hole, it's 2-1. So an American-style player. Robert, of course, out of Great Britain, but plays that pull shot series style of play. Doing very well here at a French-style tournament. No surprise, though. Robert Atha has continued to grow as a player and currently, as we mentioned, one of the very, very greatest of the multi-table players. Mahy now with an opportunity to tie this first game up at 2 from pin shot position, and he does, quickly converting to that near side. It is indeed 2-2. I believe the winner of this would advance to face Cyril Abacassis of France in the semifinals. Of course, Frederic Collignon has already won his side of the bracket, is already in the finals of this single elimination format. Nice pass along that outer wall by Mahy. Franck sets it up, looking for the lead. Try to come to the near side once again, blocked by Atha. The ball caroms down the table, left-handed effort on goal, and the rebound is grabbed on the 3-row of Franck Mahy. Mahy strokes it home again to that near side. It's 3-2. Franck Mahy. Robert Atha going at it here in the quarterfinals of open singles. Robert Atha possession on the 5-row, banks it off that back wall, grabbing it on his 3-row. He'll set it up in pull shot position, looking to tie it up at 3. Atha fires it to that straight hole. It's 3-3. And again, there is a bit of unfamiliarity with the French players with the pull shot. They're used to facing predominantly nothing but that front pin series, and perhaps the occasional tic-tac as well, but not too many French players shooting the pull shot, although Billy Pappas, Robert Atha, Tim Ludwig, among others, have proven, and Tom Yor, the referee here, have proven that you can shoot the pull shot on the Bonzini table and shoot it very well. Here's Mahy now, quickly again to that near side. Grabbed on that 5-row by Mahy. One thing you will see with these French players is tremendous hand speed, great ball handling ability. Of course, the ability to shoot that pin shot as well, and Mahy's going to get another opportunity right here. Tied up at 3 here in game number 1. Jim Stevens and Ezekiel Iceman Moore. Mahy so far has been very effective to the near side. Tried to go to the far side this time. Atha takes it away. Atha fired it down the middle, blocked by the 5 of Mahy. Franck able to grab it on his 3. Mahy to the far side. Atha with a block. Again, Mahy to the near side. Atha there defensively. And again, Atha, great defensive series from the British player. And he fires this one on goal off a back pin. Mahy a little slow getting back there. Tried to pass it along that inner wall with the left hand. Taken away by Atha, trying to get it off that wall, and he does so. Got to be careful. You only get the 3 walls, of course. There is no side strip on the Sponzini tables, and Atha calls timeout. Robert Atha, possession on the 5 row. Puts the ball back into play. 3-3 here in the first. Winner advances to the semifinals. Atha tried to chip that one up. Mahy was there defensively and takes it away. Franck now moving into that forward position. Tried to brush it through the lane. Atha got a piece of it. Robert with the rebound. Stepping back into offensive position. Robert setting it up. Now bringing it to the near side. Fires it down the table. Tried to save it with his 5, but it's grabbed on the 3 by Mahy. A chance to take the lead once again for Franck. And again, Atha doing a tremendous job defensively. Beginning about halfway through this game. That's 4 or 5 in a row that he's blocked. Nice save by Mahy. He works that ball back up the table. That one was headed towards the goal. Robert Atha again in offensive posture. And do a tic-tac. And Robert will call his second, or actually he's calling a technique. The handle came loose. You are allowed to do that. I believe twice per game is the rule. We'll verify that with Tom Yore a little later on. The handles do come loose. Of course, these are interchangeable handles. All the players use whatever is comfortable for them. Atha able somehow to keep that one out of the goal. Mahy's slicing effort again. Atha defensively doing a tremendous job. Robert Atha. Possession on the 2 row. Brings it across, comes back with a push shot effort, jumps into that forward position to grab the rebound. Quick shot attempt blocked by Mahy, and there's Franck to grab it on his 5 row. Franck Mahy's pass attempt knocked down and stolen away by Robert Atha. Still 3-3 here in game number 1. Robert Atha will set it up in pull shot position. No, he won't. He'll try that quick shot to the far side, blocked by Mahy. So haven't had much scoring here the last few minutes as we're tied up at 3 points apiece. Franck Mahy using the left hand on the 2 row. Now moving back into offensive position. Shot attempt grabbed on the 5 by Mahy, who steps into forward position. A grueling defensive battle here in game number 1. And a jar warning there for Robert Atha, but no harm, no foul. We'll continue play. Franck Mahy setting it up in pin shot position. And he strokes it home to that far side. It's 4-3. So Mahy has surged ahead here in game number 1, leading 4-3 over Great Britain's Robert Atha. Wall pass attempt by Atha, blocked by Mahy. Comes back to Robert. Atha tried to brush it through the lane. Mahy got a piece of it, but it squirts through to the 3-rod of Robert Atha. Robert setting it up in pull shot position, looking to tie it up at 4. He's had success to the straight hole, and he finds it again. That's 3 of those here in game number 1. Mahy looking long, Atha converting straight, and we have a timeout. Possession of the ball on the 5 row of Franck Mahy of France. 4-4 here in game number 1. Mahy puts the ball into play quickly, goes along that wall. He'll set it up, looking to put away game number 1. Franck Mahy. taking its time, looking for the hole in the defense of Robert Atha. And he tried to come to that near side, banks off that inside wall towards the goal, and there's Atha to grab the rebound on his 3-row, a chance for Robert to win game 1. Atha from pull shot position. Reset called by referee Tom Yor. Robert Atha.
Reset warning.
Reset warning. Atha tried to get another one out of him. And strokes it, I believe, down the middle. Game number 1 goes to Robert Atha, 5-4. So Great Britain's Robert Atha pulls out a close game number 1. Of course, the winner of this match advances to the semifinals to play Cyril Abacassis. Eventually, Frederic Collignon awaits the winner of that match as we get game number 2 underway. Mahy now with the first scoring opportunity of game number 2. And he fires that one home. It's 1-0. So Franck Mahy has surged ahead here in game number 2 after losing a very close game 1 to Atha. Mahy had a chance to win game number 1. Robert was able to pull it out. Robert shot the ball very well. Had fewer scoring opportunities, fewer possessions on the 3-row than Franck Mahy. Atha has one right here. Shot attempt once, twice, blocked both times by Franck Mahy of France. Franck rated at number 20 in the international rankings. Robert Atha, of course, rated at number 4 in the singles format. Pass attempt blocked, knocked down in an angle into the goal beautifully by Robert Atha. It's 1-1. Great hustle play by the Brit. This one's stolen away. Chipped up, grabbed on the 3-rod. Robert Atha now with a chance to take the lead. And he does, firing that one home. Franck Mahy not happy about that. Robert Atha leading 1-0, up 2-1 here in game number 2. And it's stolen away by Atha. Playing a solid match so far. Turns that one over. It's grabbed by Mahy. Franck Mahy's pass attempt. Atha tried to grab it. It squirts backwards towards the goal where it's reeled in by Atha. And Atha, possession on the 5-row, banked it off that back wall. Tried to slam dunk, hold that ball with a 3-row. Nice attempt by Robert. Unable to convert. Here's Mahy, possession on his 2-row, using that left hand, walking it back and forth. Shot down the middle, blocked by the 5-rod of Atha. Poked forward to his 3. Robert Atha, who has not missed very often from the 3-row, angles that one between the men. Not sure he meant to do that, but it's 3-1. Very tight hole there. So Robert Atha up 3-1 here in game number 2 after winning the opening game 5-4. Shot down the middle on goal by Mahy, who's starting to get a little frustrated, shaking his head.
Reset.
Robert Atha, offensive position. Try to just clear it, does that. Moves into the forward position now. Mahy sprays that one wide of the goal with a 5. And Mahy able to grab the rebound. A big shot right here for Franck. Trying to get back in this second game after losing game number 1, and he does. Firing it back down the middle after faking to the far side. I think Mahy thought it went in. Let's see if it did.
No? Positive?
Did sound like it went in. And we have a timer coming to the table to help out Tom Yor with his duties. We'll have to get that kid's name for you. Oh, that's Fred. That's Frederic Collignon now going to do some timing. And here we go. Robert Atha coming right out, passing it through that lane. Robert up 3-2 here in game number 2. And he comes back stroking home that pull shot beautifully. Robert Atha continuing to shoot the ball well. got to be impressive with the performance of young Robert Atha. 4-2 lead for Atha. Mahy trying to pull back within one. And he does, firing it home to that near side. So Franck Mahy continuing to shoot the ball pretty well here in game number 2. It's now 4-3. Robert Atha's pass attempt stolen away by Mahy. Franck tried to brush it through the lane. Atha got a piece of it, and there he is to keep it out of the goal as well. Nice hustle play by Robert Atha. Fires that one off the corner of the goal. Left hand stab forward once, twice. The second one is stolen away by Atha, who's got a chance to put away game number 2. Robert, leading 4-3, will step away and call timeout. Robert Atha steps back to the table. He has possession on the 3-row. Looking to put away game number 2. Atha setting it up on the near side, looking at a bump kick. Goes into the tic-tac, tried to come to the short side. Mahy was there. Quick clearing effort. Mahy moves into that forward position and fires that one towards the goal. Robert Atha again there defensively. That's really been the key for Robert, is his defense so far. They've been able to keep the ball off the 3-row predominantly here in game number 2 of Mahy. And Atha able to convert using that farman on the 3-row. He's up 2-0. Here we go. Third game underway with Robert Atha now leading 2-0. And Mahy quickly coming out, getting point number 1 of game number 3. 2-0 lead for Atha. Obviously a must-win game for Mahy. Franck leading 1-0. It's a chance to make it 2-0 right here. Got to come to the near side, knocked down, comes back to him. And again, Atha there. Robert now using the left hand on the 2-row, looking to pass it to the 5, but it's stolen away by Mahy. Let's see if Franck makes him pay. He's up 1-0 here in game 3, although he trails 2-0. Mahy trying to go to the far side, blocked by Atha, who has just been tremendous defensively. Again, Mahy fires it home to that near side. It's 2-0, so just as he needed to do here in game number 3, Franck Mahy has come out scoring the first 2 points. See how Atha responds. Now Mahy knocks that pass down, comes back to Robert. Great bit of defense there. That one blocked back into the goal by Mahy, and just like that, it's 3-0. Robert Atha now showing a little bit of frustration. He's up 2-0, but has given up the first 3 points of game number 3. And here we go. Robert Atha chips it up, grabbing it on his 3-row. Robert from pull shot position. And perhaps the first block of the match. I don't recall the pull shot being blocked previous to this. Perhaps one was, but Atha has been doing a great job offensively on the 3. Certainly from the pull shot set. Of course, he's gone with a few tic-tacs as well. I'm not sure why he has done that. He's been so successful shooting the ball from that pull shot set in this match so far. Right now it's Mahy who is being successful here in game number 3, up 3-0, in control of this 3rd game. And now Atha moving into the forward position. And Mahy defensively there. Franck able to pass it through and set it up in pin shot position. Franck Mahy. Well, first call timeout.
Is that 3 walls? Did I miss a 3 wall? I think it was. 3 walls. That's it. Giving it back. 10 seconds. 15. You missed a deflection. What about 25 seconds? Very familiar. 5? Yeah.
Franck Mahy puts the ball back into play, looking for a 4-0 lead, and he gets it. So after losing the first two games, it's all Mahy here in game number 3, and Franck feeling pretty good about that. Robert Atha now with a chance to get on the board, but he can't hold on to it. Mahy's shot attempt wide of the goal. Atha now using the left hand, looking to pick the pace up, but it's stolen away by Mahy. Fires it on goal, blocked by Atha. Robert now using the left hand again, turns the ball over. Chance to win game 3 now for Franck Mahy, who sets it up in pin shot position and calls timeout. Franck Mahy looking to put away game number 3. Mahy fires it home to the near side. It is now 2-1.
45 seconds.
And here we go, now leading 2-1. Robert Atha puts the ball into play on his 5-row, and it's stolen away by Mahy. So this match far from over, despite the fact that Atha got out to such a strong start. Mahy has continued to shoot the ball pretty well throughout the match. It's just a matter of whether or not he can get enough possessions. Atha, during certain periods of the match, has blocked extremely well. But for the most part, Mahy doing a good job continuing to put shots on goal at the very least. Franck now possession on that 2-row, left-hand effort, banks off that inner wall right to the 5-row of Great Britain's Robert Atha, who passes it down the middle, grabbing it with that middleman on his 3-row. He now sets it up in pull shot position, where he's been very successful, especially that hole right there. It's 1-0. Robert has had a great deal of success shooting the ball from the pull shot set. Franck Mahy now looking to even it up at a point apiece. Franck to the near side. Gets it back and resets it. Shot attempt wide of the goal. Rebounded by Atha. Robert setting it up in pull shot position. Fired that push kick down the middle on goal. He now hauls it in on his 3-row, looking for a 2-0 lead. Shot attempt blocked by Mahy. Stop and play. A jar called. It will be awarded to the 3-row of Robert Atha. Robert still up 1-0. From pull shot position, Robert Atha having a look at that straight hole. Waiting it out, waiting for it to show up again. Tried to go to it. Mahy got a man on this one. And Atha able to rattle that shot into the goal. It's now 2-0. So after losing game number 3, 5-0, Atha has come out strong here in game number 4 and leads 2-0. See how Mahy responds. Pass attempt knocked down, stolen away by Atha. Rob, can he hold on to it? Yes. He will set it up in pull shot position. Robert Atha comes around with a fake and calls a timeout. Cyril Abacassis awaits the winner of this match in the semifinals. This is a quarterfinal match here, and of course Frederic Collignon already in the open singles final. So it's going to be either Atha, Mahy, or Abacassis who faces the great Collignon in that singles final here a little later on. Franck Mahy now still looking for his first point of this 4th game. Franck from front pin position comes back down the middle beautifully after faking to that far side. It's now 2-1. 2-1, 2 points to 1 here in the 4th game. Big point right here for Atha. Mahy has shown that he can be a momentum player once he gets rolling. Awfully difficult to stop. Mahy tried to go along that inner wall, knocked down by Atha. Comes back to Franck. Mahy again. Atha again with a block. Mahy has possession on the 5. Quickly steps away and calls timeout before he got the time call, and then takes a deep breath. Nice play by Mahy. He was very aware of the clock. Franck Mahy puts the ball back into play on his 5-row, trailing 2-1. Able to advance it. Now with a chance to tie it up at 2. Franck Mahy. Atha there with a block, but Mahy able to rattle that one into the goal. It's now 2-2. So Franck Mahy continuing to shoot the ball with great aggressiveness on goal nearly every time he gets it. 2-2 here in the fourth game. And that one blocked back into the goal. Mahy a little slow to react on that one. It looked like he could have gotten a piece on that particular ball as it rolled towards him. Unable to do so. It's now 3-2 in favor of Atha. Mahy chips it up. Atha got a piece of it, but Franck able to grab it on his 3-row. Now looking to tie it at 3. A big shot right here for Franck Mahy. Mahy fires it home impressively to that far side. He really snaps that shot off. It's 3-3. Very impressive player out of France, Franck Mahy, tied up with Robert Atha, who is equally impressive, although out of Great Britain. In a very hard-fought singles quarterfinal here on table number 1. And Mahy able to convert. He's now up 4-3. So Franck Mahy has surged ahead 4-3. Looking to take it to a 5th game, and he steals the ball away from Atha. After winning the first 2 games, Robert Atha now finding himself in a little bit of trouble. Franck Mahy now with a chance to take it to a 5th game, but first he's going to step away and call timeout. 4-3 lead for Franck Mahy. He's got a chance to take it to a 5th game, and he does, stroking that one home. We are indeed going to a 5th and final game. All right, here we go. 5th game underway. Atha will put the ball into play. Let's see how Rob responds. He's lost the last 2 games. The only rap against Robert Atha, really, is such a great talent, but sometimes the aggressiveness leaves him. And we saw that a little bit in that last game, but not right here as he strokes that one home. It's 1-0. The only rap is a lack of intensity and aggressive sometimes with Atha, the killer instinct, if you will. Saw it certainly on that first shot. Here's Mahy. Atha tips it up, stolen back by Mahy. It's 1-0 here in game number 5. Robert Atha again possession on the 5, fires that one on goal. There he is to grab the rebound on his 3-row. Robert brings it across and goes into a tic-tac. Comes back with a rolling pull shot just wide of the goal. He shot the ball very well when he sets it up, although he's a very good tic-tacker as well. And here's Mahy now with a chance to tie it at 1. Franck Mahy fires it to the near side off the corner of the goal, reaches back to save that one. That one was rolling right to the 3-row of Atha. Nice play by Mahy to keep it off the shooting rod of the British player. Franck now looking to tie it up at 1 once again. And he does, firing it home to that near side. It's 1-1. 1-1 here in the 5th, going right down to the wire in this open singles quarterfinal match. Robert Atha on the right, it's Franck Mahy on the left. Tied up at 2 games apiece. Atha chips it up, grabbing it on his 3-row. Robert now setting it up in pull shot position, looking for the lead. Robert Atha try to go to the straight hole. Mahy with a block. Again, Atha to the straight hole. Mahy there defensively once again. Mahy now using the left hand on the 2-row. Looking to pass, or looking to clear. Passes it all the way up the table where it's grabbed by Mahy on the 3-row. A chance for Franck to take the lead here in game number 5. Mahy fires it home to the far side. Franck Mahy coming up big here in this 5th and final game, now leading Robert Atha 2-1. All right, here we go. Robert Atha finding himself behind here in game number 5. Robert jumped out to that 2-0 lead. Mahy came back to win games 3 and 4. Atha now with a chance to tie it up at 2. Setting it up in pull shot position, Robert Atha. Tried to stroke that long wide of the goal. Rebound comes back to Atha on the 5, but it squirts back into the goal. Tough break for Robert Atha. And just like that, it's 3-1. 3-1 lead for Mahy here in the 5th. Atha along the wall. Huge shot right here for Robert. Quick shot wide of the goal. Early on in the match, Robert Atha set the ball up, went to the straight hole, hit a couple of longs, really worked them out to go hit a chip angle even. But he is going away from that somewhat down the stretch here. Fights wide of the goal. Mahy with a rebound. A chance to go up 4-1 right here for Franck Mahy. Mahy with an impressive performance down the stretch. It is match point for Franck Mahy. Franck up 4-1 here in the fifth and final game. Robert knows he has to work his way back into the match one ball at a time. Set it up now in front pin position and fire it home. 4-2 lead for Franck Mahy. It's match point for Franck, looking to advance to the semifinals and a showdown with his fellow countryman Cyril Abacassis. He's got an opportunity to put it away right here. Franck Mahy from pin shot position, looking for a win. Tried to come to the near side. Atha there defensively. Big block by Robert. Atha tried to clear the zone. Stolen away by Mahy, who once again has a chance to win the match. Mahy fires it home to the near side. Franck Mahy comes back from a 2-0 deficit to defeat Britain's Robert Atha in a quarterfinal match. What a great comeback performance from France's Franck Mahy. He advances to the semifinals.
He took one early.